Let us continue biomolecules. In biomolecules, we will take polysaccharides. We will take in polysaccharides. One example is starch. Polysaccharides example is starch. We are taking starch. Another name is amylum. Starch. Another name is what means amylum. Starch. Another name is amylum. This starch is a polysaccharide. It contains two types of polychains. One is called amylose, another one is called amylopectin. This amylose contains what? This amylose contains what in the sense it is a linear polymer of alpha D glucose. It is a linear polymer. It is a linear polymer of alpha D glucose. Linear polymer of alpha D glucose. Amylopectin is what in the sense branched chain polymer of alpha D glucose. So amylopectin is what in the sense branched chain polymer of alpha D glucose. Branched chain polymer of alpha D glucose. Sorry. Now we will take alpha D glucose. We will take that alpha D glucose. We will take in a pyranose form. We will take alpha D glucose in a pyranose form. It is one pyranose form. Next to pyranose form. It is next to pyranose form. It is next to pyranose form. Like this we have taken. Like this it continues. Okay. Now we will give the OH groups. We will give. It is the first carbon, second, third, fourth, fifth. Between fifth carbon and first carbon, ether linkage will be there. So ether linkage is there for all. So it is first carbon, second, third, fourth, fifth. So at first carbon, OH group we will write here down. At second carbon, OH group we will write down. At third carbon, OH group we will write at top. At fourth carbon, OH group down. At fifth carbon, CH2OH at top. Okay. It is for it is alpha D glucose. Okay. Another alpha D glucose we will take HOH. Here HOH. Here HOH like this. Here HOH. Here CH2OH H. Sorry. Next alpha D glucose. Here HOH. Here HOH. Here OHH. Here HOH. Here CH2OH H. Next alpha D glucose. Here HOH. Here HOH you can say. Here OHH. Here HOH. Here we can say CH2OH H. Sorry. Now we will give glycosidic linkage. In this alpha D glucose C1 unit, C1 carbon OH group. In this alpha D glucose C4 OH group, C4 carbon OH group going for glycosidic linkage. So C1 carbon and C4 carbon going for glycosidic linkage. Therefore, we will write glycosidic linkage like this. It is a glycosidic linkage. C1 C4 link. Then in this C1 OH group, in this C4 OH group will go for glycosidic linkage. So now here C1 is linking with O, O is linking with this C4, glycosidic linkage. Then in this C1 OH group, in this C4 OH group go for glycosidic linkage. here like this. So we have given glycosidic bond like this. Next, glycosidic linkage in this C1. This C1 goes for glycosidic linkage. This C1 goes for glycosidic linkage with a neighbor. Like this it continues. Then in this C4 goes for glycosidic linkage. This C4 goes for glycosidic linkage. It continues. It will continue like this. It is a polymer. This polymer is called a linear polymer of alpha D glucose. This linear polymer of alpha D glucose is called what in the sense amylose. Okay. This linear polymer of alpha D glucose, we can call it as a amylose, we can say. Sir. And starch contains amylose as well as amylopectin. How amylopectin will be there? That we'll see. How amylopectin? Amylopectin in the sense branched chain polymer of alpha D glucose. This amylopectin in the sense branched chain polymer of alpha D glucose. Okay. Now we will see. First we'll take a here one alpha D glucose will take. Here we will write HOH. Here we will write OHH. Here we will write H. Here we will write CH2HH. Okay, this is one unit. We will take another alpha D glucose. Another alpha D glucose. Here we have written HOH. Here we have written HOH. In the third carbon we have written OHH. In the fourth carbon HOH. Fifth carbon CH2HH. CH2HH. Fifth carbon. Sir. Now we can give a glycosidic linkage here. Glycosidic linkage. Here continues. Glycosidic linkage continues like this. Sir. It is one chain. In this chain, it is terminating place. Terminating place we have taken like this. Terminating place. Next we will take like this. Next chain will take, it is CH2HH. CH2HH we have taken. This fifth carbon is bonding with oxygen. First carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon. Cell. Now we will give here oxygen. First carbon HOH, second carbon HOH, third carbon OHH, fourth carbon HOH. Next we will continue. We will continue glycosidic linkage like this. Now we will give that pyran ring. Pyran ring we are giving. So we will give here oxygen. Here first group H. Glycosidic linkage continues like this. Here second carbon HOH, third carbon OHH, fifth carbon CH2HH. Okay, then here continuation. Here we will see here glycosidic linkage. Now we will give the pyran ring. We will give the pyran ring. We will give the groups. Here oxygen, second carbon HOH, third carbon OHH. It is what in the sense CH2HH. It is what in the sense H. Here it continues. Continues here. Now we can say this is one chain, linear chain. It is on linear chain. Now what happens means this OH group and this OH group goes for glycosidic linkage. So in this chain C1 carbon OH group, this is C1 carbon OH group. In this chain, this C6 carbon, this is C6 carbon, it is C5 carbon, it is C6 carbon, CH2H. So in this chain, C1 carbon OH group, in this chain, this C6 carbon OH group, C6 carbon OH group goes for glycosidic linkage. So this OH group and this OH group goes for glycosidic linkage. So here what is happening means glycosidic linkage is possible. So C1 C6 link, glycosidic linkage is possible. Okay, so here glycosidic linkage C1 C6 glycosidic linkage. Okay, so this is called branched chain polymer of alpha D glucose. This is called what in the sense amylopectin. So amylopectin in the sense branched chain. The branched chain is C1 C6 link. C1 C6 link we can say. So next we will go for a cellulose. Now we will take what in the sense cellulose we can take. Cellulose is a polysaccharide. Cellulose is a polysaccharide. It is a linear polymer of beta D glucose. It is a linear polymer of beta D glucose we can say. Cellulose is a linear polymer of beta D glucose. Okay, here we will take glucose unit, we will take glucose pyran ring we have written. Next pyran ring we will take next pyran ring. Next pyran ring. Next pyran ring like this we have written. Now we will give the groups. Now we will give the groups. It is beta D plus glucose. Therefore, at C1 carbon OH group at up. At C2 carbon OH group down. At C3 carbon OH group up. At C4 carbon OH group down. At C5 carbon CH2H up. H down. Here O. It is beta D glucose. So here we will see here OH H first carbon. Second carbon OH down. Third carbon OH up. Fourth carbon HOH. Fifth carbon CH2OH H. Here ether linkage. Here next OHH, HOH, OHH, HOH. Here CH2OH H. Here O. Here O. Here we can say OHH. Here HOH, OHH. Here HOH. Here we can say CH2OH. CH2OH. Now we will give glycosidic linkage. We will give how the glycosidic linkage means C1C4 link. C1C4 link. Glycosidic linkage is C1C4 link. So here C1 carbon this OH group. Here C4 carbon this OH group. So C1C4 link we are giving. C1C4 link. Okay. So C1C4 link. So here C1 OH group. Here C4 OH group. Glycosidic linkage we will give. So glycosidic linkage we are giving like this. C1C4 link. Next here C1 OH group. Here C4 OH group. Here glycosidic linkage we are giving like this. Next in this case C1 OH group is going for glycosidic linkage with C4. Next here this C4 is going for glycosidic linkage with C1. With the C1, it continues like this. This polymer, this linear polymer of beta D glucose is called what in the sense cellulose. So this is about saccharides. This is about carbohydrates. Next we are going for amino acids. Next we are going for amino acids. We are going for what in the sense amino acids we are going. Sorry. Amino acids in the sense in this we will mainly discuss about what in the sense alpha amino acids. Alpha amino acids will take. Alpha amino acids will take. Okay. Now acid in the sense carboxylic acid we have to take. Here carbon. This alpha amino group is at alpha carbon. So this carbon is directly attached to carboxylic acid. Therefore it is called alpha carbon. This alpha carbon is having NH2 group. Okay. Therefore it is alpha amino acid. Then for balancing, for here we can give one nitrogen we can give, here we can give 1 R. It is called alpha amino acid we can say. So now we will give in the place of R. In the place of R, what we will give in the sense, in the place of R, let us give H. Then we can say this compound is a CH2, COOH, NH2. This alpha amino acid name is called glycine. This name is called glycine. It is from Greek word. It is from Greek word. The Greek word is what in the sense glycos. The Greek word is glycos. Glycos in the sense sweet. Glycos. For this glycine, 3-letter symbol. First 3 letters GLY. 3-letter symbol is GLY. 1-letter code. First letter G. It is 1-letter code. For glycine, 1-letter code is G. 3-letter symbol is GLY. Like this we can say. This is one example for alpha amino acid. One example for alpha amino acid. Okay. Next alpha amino acid we will take in the place of R. Next alpha amino acid in the place of R. In the place of R, what we can give in the sense, we can give like this group. OH, phenyl ring, OH phenyl ring, then CH2. OH phenyl ring, CH2. This group we will give. So now we can write in the place of R, we are introducing so and so group. OH group, phenyl ring, CH2. This is CH, COOH, NH2. Okay, alpha amino acid. It is one example for alpha amino acid. This alpha amino acid name is tyrosine. Tyrosine. It is from Greek word. It is generated from Greek word. The Greek word is called tyros. The Greek word is called tyros. This tyros meaning is cheese. Tyros meaning is cheese. Therefore, its name is tyrosine. It is a 3-letter symbol. 3-letter symbol for this is a TYR. 3-letter symbol is a TYR. 1-letter code is Y. 1-letter code for this tyrosine is a Y. 1-letter code is called what in the sense? Y we can say. Sir. Next, we will go for types of alpha amino acids we will take. Types of alpha amino acids we will take. One type is called acidic amino acid. One type is called acidic amino acid. Next type is called basic amino acid. Next type is called neutral amino acid. Next type is called neutral amino acid. Neutral amino acid. Acidic amino acid means here carboxylic acids present more than one type. Okay, so more number of carboxylic acid groups will be there. More number of carboxylic acid groups will be there. Basic amino acid. Basic amino acids means more number of amino groups will be there. More number of amino groups will be there. Then neutral amino acid in the sense equal number of amino and carboxylic groups will be there. Equal number of amino and carboxyl groups will be there. That is called neutral amino acid, we can say. So, these amino acids are in these amino acids, many amino acids are there. Some of the amino acids are synthesized by the body. Therefore, they are called non-essential amino acids. They are called what in the sense? Non-essential amino acids. Non-essential amino acids. Non-essential amino acids means these amino acids are synthesized by the body. Okay, which are non-essential amino acids? Example for this one is glycine, alanine, glutamic acid, then aspartic acid, then glutamine, then asparagine, then serine, then cysteine, then tyrosine, then proline. These are what in the sense non-essential amino acids. Then essential amino acids. Next we will see essential amino acids. Essential amino acids. Essential amino acids. These amino acids are not synthesized by the body. Body will not synthesize these amino acids. We have to take these amino acids through food. Through food we have to take these amino acids. Okay. These are called essential amino acids. Essential amino acids example is called what in the sense valine, leucine, isoleucine, arginine, lysine, threonine, methionine, phenylalanine, then tryptophan, histidine, These are called what in the sense essential amino acids. So essential amino acids means it is not synthesized by the body, we have to take from food. Non-essential amino acids means it is synthesized by the body. Sorry, okay. Now we will see what is the necessity of the amino acids. Essential amino acids are not synthesized by the body. If you do not take, what will happen? It will cause a disease. That disease, it will cause a disease, we can say. Sorry, okay. Next, the alpha amino acids are optically active. Why? Because chiral carbon is there. Here if you see, this is chiral carbon. If R is not H, it is chiral carbon, then alpha amino acids we can say optically active, we can say. Exception is what in the sense of glycine. Glycine is not optically active. So, these alpha amino acids coming under which configuration in the DL nomenclature, that we will see. Alpha amino acids coming under which nomenclature in DL, that we will see. Now, alpha amino acids will take like this. Here carboxylic acid, it is chiral carbon. Here R, here NH2 group, here H. Okay, it is chiral carbon. This is chiral carbon. So, alpha amino acids generally coming like this. In this chiral carbon, NH2 group is at left side. Therefore, it is called L configuration. That DL nomenclature is introduced for carbohydrates. That is continued for this amino acids. Here amino group is on left side of this chiral carbon, therefore it is L configuration. Whereas for carbohydrates, OH group we have to see, for amino acids we have to see NH2 group. So therefore this is coming under which category in the sense L configuration we can say. Sir, okay. So in DL nomenclature it is coming under a L configuration. Okay. Next we will see. Next we are going for this non-essential amino acids and essential amino acids in which R group we will see. What is the R group? That point we will see. Now we will take a non-essential amino acids. Non-essential amino acids in which R group we will see. Now alanine we will take. For alanine, what is R in the sense CH3? For asparagine, R is equal to what in the sense CH2 CONH2. CH2 CONH2 is a R group, asparagine. Then aspartic acid, R group is what in the sense CH2 COOH, aspartic acid. Then cysteine, R group is what in the sense CH2SH, Then we'll see glutamic acid, R group is what in the sense CH2 COOH. This is R group, glutamic acid. Next, glutamine. Next we will take a glutamine. We can take glutamine. This R group is what in the sense CH2, CH2, CONH2. This is glutamine. Next glycine. Glycine R group is H. Next proline. This proline we will give complete alpha amino acid we will give, not R group. Complete alpha amino acid we are giving. Complete alpha amino acid formula we are giving, not R group. Here complete alpha amino acid formula is what in the sense here NH, here COH. Now see here amino group, it is amino acid only, alpha amino acid only, no doubt. But amino group is not primary. Amino group is secondary. This is called what in the sense amino acid. This amino acid. See that in all the cases alpha amino acid only we can say. Alpha amino, all are alpha amino acid only we are discussing, in that there is no doubt. In all the alpha amino acids, NH2 group will be there, primary amine will be there. But in this case, secondary amine is there, NH is there. Proline. Proline is amino acid. Remember that in proline, we have to say amino group is secondary amine. In proline, amino group is secondary amine, NH. It is amino acid. It is amino acid. Okay. Next we can say serine. Serine we can say R group is CH2H. R group is CH2H. Next tyrosine. Next tyrosine. R group is CH2 phenyl ring. CH2 phenyl ring OH. CH2 phenyl ring OH. It is tyrosine. CH2 phenyl ring OH. It is what in the sense tyrosine we can say these are called non-essential amino acids. Now, first we will take alanine. We will take. In alanine, what is the formula in the sense CH3 CHNH2 COOH. So in this alanine, amino groups and carboxyl groups number is same. Therefore, it is coming under neutral amino acid. Then we will take asparagine. We will take asparagine. In the asparagine formula is NH2 CO CH2. Then it is R group. Then we will write remaining CHNH COH. In this one, 2 amino groups are there. Therefore, it is coming under basic amino acid. Next, we will take aspartic acid. Aspartic acid COOH, COOH, CH2, CH, COOH, NH2. Here, 2 times carboxylic acids are there. Therefore, it is a acidic amino acid. Acidic amino acid means more number of carboxylic groups. Basic amino acid means more number of NH2 groups. Neutral amino acid means equal number of NH2 and carboxylic groups. Okay, sir. Next we will see essential amino acids. Next we will see essential amino acids. For essential amino acids, we are taking arginine. We are taking arginine. We are taking arginine. For this arginine, R is what in the sense CH2 3 times, NH, CH2 3 times NH, CNH2, double bond NH. It is arginine. Here it is coming under basic amino acid. Next we will take histidine. Next is histidine. For histidine, this R group is what in the sense CH2. Here double bond. Here N. Here pi bond will be there. Here NH. It is histidine. For histidine, R group we have given. Next, isoleucine. 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 R group is what in the sense CH3, CH, single bond, CH2, CH3. CH3. It is isoleucine. Next, leucine. Leucine formula is what in the sense R formula is CH2, CH, CH3 twice. It is leucine. Next we will take lysine. lysine R formula is CH2 4 times, CH2 4 times NH2. It is what in the sense lysine. Next methionine. Methionine formula of R, formula for CH2 2 times SCH3. It is methionine. Next phenylalanine. Next phenylalanine. Phenylalanine. R formula is CH2 C6H5. CH2 C6H5. Next threonine. Next threonine. Threonine formula is CH3 CHOH. The CH3 CHOH. Next tryptophan. 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 Here formula is this phenyl ring. This 5-membered ring. 5-membered ring. Here what NH is there? Here CH2 single bond like this. It is tryptophan. Next valine. This valine is R group is CH3 twice. That means isopropyl group. Okay. Sir. Now we will take tryptophan. Tryptophan will give a remaining group. Will give it is R group. Remaining group is what means CH, NH2, COH. Okay. Now see, it is alpha amino acid. Here one amino group is in primary, another amino group is in secondary. Okay. Here one amino group is primary, another amino group is secondary in tryptophan. Now we will see histidine. This histidine we will see. In this histidine, now we are going for a histidine. This histidine we are taking. Histidine we have given. One amino group is primary. This amino group is tertiary. This amino group is secondary. Okay. Histidine contains how many amino groups? See, primary, tertiary, secondary. Like this is present. Okay. This is about what in the sense essential amino acids set. So we have discussed essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids we have discussed. Next, we will go for a isoelectric point. Next, we are going for isoelectric point. Next, we are taking a isoelectric point. We are taking what in the sense isoelectric point we are taking. Sir. Now we will take alpha amino acid. We are taking a alpha amino acid. We will take how this alpha amino acid will be there, that we will see. Alpha amino acid contains one carboxylic group, one carboxylic group, one CH, one NH2 group, one NH2 group, and R group. Okay. This nitrogen, this amino group nitrogen contains lone pair. It acts as a base. This carboxylic acid COH contains H plus. It acts as an acid. Sorry. Therefore, what will happen in the sense from this carboxylic acid, it will donate H plus. That H plus will be taken by this N. Therefore, this will become what we will see. So this bond is migrating towards this O. Therefore, this O becomes O minus, and the hydrogen becomes H plus. So this O becomes O minus, hydrogen becomes H plus. Then this nitrogen donates lone pair to this H plus and makes a bond. Therefore, here this lone pair is involved in bonding with the H plus. So here it makes a bond and it gets plus charge. Okay, this is called what in the sense deuterion. This is called deuterion. This is called deuterion. It is called inner salt because acid-base reaction is over. Acid-base neutralization is over because this carboxyl group acted as acid, NH2 group acted as base. Therefore, acid-base neutralization is over. Therefore, we can call this is as a deuterion. We can say. So this deuterion, another name is ampolite. This zooter ion, another name is what means ampolite. It is called inner salt dipolar ion. Like this we can say. So this alpha amino acid exists as a like this zooter ion. Therefore, it is having ionic nature. So its melting point is high, and it is having ionic nature. Therefore, it is insoluble in hydrocarbons. It is insoluble in hydrocarbon solvents, but it is soluble in water. It is soluble in water, but insoluble in hydrocarbon solvents, we can say. Because of ionic nature, it is having high dipole moment. It is having high dipole moment, we can say. So, now we will take this zooter ion in a solution. We will take which solution means a neutral solution. We will take this in a neutral solution. We will take. We are taking this in a neutral solution. We will take. So we are taking this alpha amino acid in a neutral solution. So solution contains a neutral solution means concentration of H plus is equal to concentration of OH minus. So any of H plus is there. Any of H plus is there, we can say. And the neutral solution means what we can say in the sense concentration of H plus is equal to concentration of OH minus. Okay. If this OH minus pulls this H plus, if this OH minus takes this H plus, then this system will lose H plus. Then the system will become like this. The zooter ion will become this form. Zooter ion will become a anionic form, we can say. Zooter ion becomes anionic form. Zooter ion becomes a anionic form in this case. Sorry, okay. Now, this anionic form in the sense, now we can say that it is a donating H plus, therefore it acted as acid. It's a conjugate basis, this anionic form. It's a conjugate basis, this anionic form, we can say. Sorry. Next, if it takes H plus, okay, if this base takes H plus, it will give this acid. It will give this dipolar ion. So, now we will say. Now we will see that this O minus, this COO minus takes H plus, like this will take. This COO minus takes H plus. This COO minus takes H plus from this neutral solution. Then it will become what we will see. This NH3 plus. This NH3 plus we can say. This CHR, COO minus becomes COOH. Okay. Now this is taking H plus, therefore it is base, so it is conjugate acid. It is conjugate acid. It is conjugate acid. If it donates H plus, then it will become like this. Okay. Then it is becoming like this. It is donating H plus means, it is donating H plus in the sense which will donate H plus more dominantly in the sense carboxylic acid donate H plus more dominantly when compared to this NH3 plus. Therefore, this carboxylic group is donating H plus. So we are getting like this. Sorry. So in the neutral solution, such a type of equilibrium is possible. Such a type of equilibrium is possible. So in neutral solution, equilibrium will be there. In the equilibrium, this conjugate acid will be there. This zooter ion will be there, and this anionic form will be there. Anionic form will be there. Okay. Now you say that if you change the pH, what will happen to the position of equilibrium? Do you say position of equilibrium changes? Yes. If you change the pH, position of equilibrium changes. Suppose we are increasing acidic medium. We are adding H plus into this solution. To this neutral solution, we are adding H plus. Acid we are adding. If we go on add acid, what happens to the